Today, forget robot dinosaurs, Horizon Forbidden West is all about the trees. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint, where it's just me today. Hard to have quippy banter when it's just me. Well, I mean, Paul's here.
Hello.
It's not really scintillating banter, though, is it?
Read your stories.
Okay. The CEO of Genshin Impact developer MiHoYo has announced their intent to create a cross-media virtual world called the HoYoverse that they claim will, quote, integrate games, anime, and other diverse types of entertainment which will provide players with a high level of freedom and immersion, and they intend to focus on, quote, long-term operation strategies, consistent technical research, and innovation in a variety of fields to ensure that sufficient content is created to meet the expectations of players worldwide for a virtual world experience. And what do you figure those expectations are? I respect that with every day on this hell planet, I age further away from the key demographics, but does anybody, of any age, hear the phrase cross-media virtual experience and not immediately fall asleep? Wake me up when it's the holodeck, or the Matrix, or something that's not just a new system to pay for a worse way to watch a movie. It's worth mentioning there's been no indication of what this HoYoverse actually is, what it looks like, how it works, or when it will be released, so until then, it's probably safest to assume that it won't. Why go outside and touch grass when you can just make someone else do it by playing a video game? Horizon Forbidden West has a cute thing where every time a player unlocks a specific PlayStation trophy, they'll plant a tree. And by they, I mean the Arbor Day Foundation, with whom Sony has partnered. Until March 25th, anytime a player unlocks the Reached the Daunt trophy, they'll plant a literal real tree in actual real life in one of 3 deforested areas in Wisconsin, California, or Florida. Obviously, the easy joke is that this is some obscure, impossible trophy that can't be achieved by most players, but no, thankfully, it's basically just getting to the post-tutorial open world zone. Also, there's a cap at 288,000 trees, after which point we have to assume the planet is saved. Let's read some patch notes. Cyberpunk 2077 came out a couple months ago, and patch 1.5 just dropped, so 14 months? Wowee. Alright, well, apart from all the stuff you'd expect, like removing support for last-generation consoles and adding new poses for Keanu Reeves in photo mode, there are some funny ones. Good news for NPCs, they can now drive away in a panic if danger arises. Bad news for NPCs, they can now die in car crashes. Instead of running away from the police, you can now also hide. The easy mode is now moderately more challenging, which I guess means it's still easy if it's easier than normal, but I suppose you could have just added some kind of mild medium option. Activating the Berserk cyberware will now grant double stamina instead of infinite stamina. They've, quote, enhanced Night City nightlife by making music in clubs a bit louder. 'Cause, I mean, guess nobody wants to just talk anymore. And you can no longer attack a cyberpsycho with cyberpsychosis, because it's a bit like pouring water on a fish. Anyway, there's a bunch of stuff that's less funny to read out loud, and generally it seems pretty good. Nothing in the notes about fixing the part where you're a cyberpunk protagonist who does contract murder work for the police, but maybe that's just a me problem. Even though he isn't here today, Beej sent in the following story about this week's big Nintendo news. Nintendo has announced that after 9 years of long, dedicated, meritorious service, the Wii U and 3DS eShops will be closing their digital doors without even a medal or a certificate or a marching band heralding its triumphant retirement from the grand marketplace of gaming, and why aren't you more upset about this? That seems to be the prevalent attitude in the comment sections on all the websites reporting this story. Kotaku even went to the trouble of gathering comments from Japanese websites, which ranged from the frothing "Nintendo is unhinged" to the fatalistic "it would be good if they kept it going forever. Endings feel so lonely." Nintendo's own FAQ states how quickly the demise is coming. You will be unable to make purchases from both eShops on March 2023. Really? It's like over a year away. But they are restricting the ability to add cash to the shops because of that weird off-putting Nintendo e-commerce system where you can't just pay directly with a credit card. And so that is ending May 23rd, 2022. That's 95 days. So don't walk to your nearest web browser and load up your store account with more money in case someone happens to release a particularly compelling 3DS game that's digital only now that everyone knows the eShop is going away. Quickly, now, if you wait until tomorrow, you'll only have 94 days left. Oh, unless you currently have a Nintendo account that you use with your Switch, in which case you can link that account to your Nintendo Network ID and then add funds that way and keep making purchases on your Wii U and 3DS until March 2023. So kick up your feet, I guess. But hey, after March 2023, you're fucked, right? All your previous purchases just disappear and your 3DS disintegrates into a puddle of mild goo, correct? Well, no, because also according to the FAQ, even after late March 2023 and for the foreseeable future, it will still be possible to re-download games and DLC, receive software updates, and enjoy online play on Wii U and the 3DS family of systems. So, to sum up, you got a year to buy anything you want from the Nintendo eShops on the Wii U and the 3DS. You'll still be able to load up your account with money for a while, and Nintendo's saying that it'll still be possible to re-download games and play online. Now, I'll give props to fans of Sony who bellowed and wailed and gnashed their teeth. Gee, Beach did write this. When Sony tried to shut down the PlayStation Store for PS3 et al. And then backtracked due to the furor, the fans' anger was heard and Sony responded. Maybe the same will happen here? I mean, I doubt it. It's Nintendo, after all. Hell, they launched a My Memories website to commemorate the amount of time you spent playing the Wii U and the 3DS, like when your parents sat you down with some construction paper and a photo of Scruffles so you could all make a scrapbook of the good times you had before Scruffles had to go to the farm up island. Which was weird, because you were pretty sure Scruffles died. All right, I thought that story went pretty well.
Yep. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll tell him. Beach says you read it wrong. You have brought shame to the show and dishonored his memory.
His memory? He's not dead. He's on the phone. Here, give me the phone.
He doesn't want to talk to you.
Coming up, Netflix has announced it's making a film adaptation of the renowned video game franchise BioShock. The second time Hollywood has tried to adapt 2K's hit series into a movie. Will this attempt succeed where Gore Verbinski failed? Only if they make use of the game's full cast of iconic and beloved characters. Static shot of Baguette Boy on loop is really good.
Kathleen specifically requested that video.
Right, yes, Kathleen did the coming up. So, 288,000 trees. The tree... Here's the thing. I may have sounded sarcastic. The tree thing is awesome. What a cool idea. Love that. There are two limiting factors. There's the cutoff date of March 25th, and there's only 288,000 trees, whichever comes first. Paul was telling me before we started the show that Sony recently boldly bragged that Horizon Zero Dawn had just recently crossed 20 million units. Yeah. I think they're going to hit their number. They should just plant them all now and assume they're going to... There's no way that Horizon Forbidden West is not going to sell 288,000 copies. And this is like, according to the article anyway, just a post-tutorial checkpoint.
I haven't seen the numbers, but I mean, I would guess that
they've done that in pre-sales.
Yeah, pre-sales are probably like 1 million copies or something.
Probably, yeah. Nintendo has announced Laughter. Another wrinkle to the eShop thing is that affected by that is Pokemon Bank, which is the only way to transfer around Pokemon from the 3DS era of Pokemon games. Now, Pokemon Bank does interface with Pokemon Home, so you can port stuff forward if you have the subscription to Pokemon Home. Well, what the Pokemon Company has said is when this announcement landed is that they said, okay, Pokemon Bank is free now. You can just use you can just get Pokemon Bank for free now and transfer your Mons out of your 3DS games before they're abandoned in the past. But there's a system. I didn't read too deeply into it, but I believe you have to get a subscription, like the $5 I think subscription to Pokemon Home, but then bank is free. You don't have to pay for both, and then you can basically get your stuff out of the bank, so you can bring all your old shinies and whatnot forward from your 3DS games.
Well, because I remember there was a whole, the part of the whole controversy when Sword and Shield came out, not having all the Pokemon, was that, there was this whole weird thing where you could transfer your Pokemon from Pokemon Bank into Pokemon Home.
Yeah.
And so, and in
Sword and Shield, not all the Mons were in Sword and Shield.
And so in Sword and Shield, it would be like, you got this Pokemon, he just can't come.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, because of that, maybe some people didn't like bother to transfer the Pokemon because they're like, I can't use them anyway, so maybe I won't transfer them. And now they're going to go bye-bye.
So save your Mons from the bank.
Yeah. Your Pokemon are going to be foreclosed on, I guess.
Oh, no. Just imagining. I was like, there's got to be a Pokemon that looks like a house. I'm just imagining Palisand. Just a little sandcastle with like a foreclosure sign on front of it. I'm sorry, we're repossessing your castle. What? It's an angry, pile of animate sand. Well, belongs to the bank now.